All right. Now, putting myself on speaker view, and where do I get? Oh, full screen. Okay, good. So today we're working on improving or expanding on our roll. So the rounding flexion aspect. And as you've both done some of the fascia classes, I wanted to just review a few aspects because I want you to search for these muscle groups when we work. One of them being the lats. And the lats literally start way down around the sacrum. And they attach. They're like, they come up on the side of the spine. It kind of attached into every vertebra and then roll out across the ribs, all the way under the shoulder blades and attach into the underarm. So it's a big, big, big muscle. And it's one of the muscles you want to search for if you're putting your attention on your back body when we do rolling motion. So if you were sitting, why don't you just come to a seated position and have your back long, and then see if you can find that place where, if you're creating what I call a hammock shape or a scoop, can you actually get in touch with this whole big band of muscle? Some of us have more kind of sensitivity to it. The fascia work I've done has really made me much more aware of my own muscles. But including, can you actually find where it's attaching under your, right at the, in your tricep area, just close to the armpit or in there. So this is one of the muscles when we're rolling, we're actually stretching it. We're opening and widening it up. And then pull your stomach muscles in just to feel and access that for a minute. Now, so that's one of the muscle groups that play into this. The other one is in the back body, your trapezius muscles, which are more, that's like a triangle. The other one is like a diamond shape or a diamond shape, which starts right at the base of the rib cage or just below it. Again, both muscle bands attach to every vertebra of the spine and then out. That's kind of the origins of the muscle. And then it comes all the way up and attaches across the top of the shoulder blade and into this area right around here. So that's the part, the diamond part coming from the bottom out. And then from the top of your neck, it runs down and out as well. So it's this diamond shape. Most of us know that part of the very big muscle. The only part we're aware of is this, because we all hunch our shoulders and this, it gets very tight and pulled up in here. That's kind of, you walk around the street and most people are walking like this, and I constantly catch myself reflexively dropping that. So now let's have an awareness of that muscle group when we're sitting holding. So this one's a tricky one because it's so easy to do this and shorten this section as we're lengthening across the shoulder blades. Notice also that when you do this movement, the shoulder blades actually have to widen if you want to stretch that muscle. So there's the rib cage area of the trapezius muscles, and then there's the neck one. So if we're in a round shape, if you just dropped your head forward, it's really easy. Beginners are usually like this. They're just crunched up and short, so that part of the muscle is crunchy. So can you get a sense, can you find a place where you feel that you're opening that band of muscle up? The big part is lengthening the neck. So let's all of us just grab our own head for a minute and pull the skull up and see if we can shape ourselves. I mean, if I was a teacher in a class with someone, sometimes I'll come in, lengthen the neck up and press the shoulders down to open up that muscle. So can you find it? So the neck is still coming forward, but it's not like a turtle in their shell. It's actually coming out. So see if you can feel that. This is what we call the C curve from the back of the body. So there's all of that. Then we have the roll and the effect that is happening in the front of the body. So you have your pubic bone coming all the way up to this little notch, the six pack, the least important muscle of the stomach muscle. So if you're sitting tall, you want a sense of this front muscle being very long. And the reason I like to lean back at first is I like people to keep it long, then open up the lats, and then can you close it without collapsing the chest? That's the hard part, is getting this firming of this muscle and getting the opening. So now if I rock my tail under, the sacrum is going under, but I haven't crunched. Usually what happens if we take 3 points, you have your pubic bone, your navel, and your sternum. If you had 3 buttons here, when we create a hammock shape, these two get really small. And that's what you want to avoid. You want to have them equal distance going into the spine. So you sit up nice and tall, again, lean back a little bit. Now see if you can start to create this contraction or flexion or hammock shape, but can you keep this area long and still be contracted? And can you feel this band? And can you feel how you're off of your tailbone and sacrum? So that's lowering you back and forth. So just go down and up a few times to feel that. That's it. Then bring yourself back up. So these are all muscle groups. And then you have your obliques, and they have 2 functions. They wrap around. There's external and internal obliques, and they have 2 functions. One, they rotate. They move our bodies this way, and they also bring us inwards and outwards. So the rotation can be into an extension and a reach and a separation, or into a pulling in. So you want to, so let's have, again, this sense of being lifted. And first of all, just cross one hand over, and then slightly lean back so you feel that, like keep your 3 buttons, and then open one side out just to feel, can you feel into your waist and into your stomach, what's happening there? And then bring the other one. Usually this is the harder one to do because we're all pretty good at collapsing. And then pulling down and stretching out. So can you feel how this muscle on the side is working? And then we'll do the same thing, but you're going to go down. So now you're contracting this area and bringing this rib over. Can you feel that you're still opening out your back? That's really the trick. Can you open your back, close the front? And then the other way, crossing over. So there's a lot of different, there's more muscles, but these are the ones I thought to give us food for thought today as we work on the roll. Then there's the pelvis and the hips. So I'd like to do the pelvic clock. I've done this before with you because usually there's a lot of little subtle aspects of the pelvis get disconnected and underused. So if you're lying on your backs, you need a pillow, get yourself a pillow. And see if you can get a sense of the navel dropping down and where your sacrum is. Now, in an intermediate to advanced student, I ask them to take their hip bones and their pubic bone and see if they can get them in the same plane. So in fact, let's all of us put our hands on the hip bones and the pubic bone. And then can you lengthen your spine out on the floor? And maybe you are flat, and maybe you are not, but that's just depends on different muscle groups and how tight they are. So from here, if you press your lower back in and slightly lift my fingers, the pubic bone has come up, and then you rock the other way so it goes down. So just go back and forth a few times like this, and see if you can do it quite lightly without an aggressive hardening and tightening of the muscles. Because yes, the stomach muscles and the back muscles can work, the bigger ones we've just discussed, but there's also a lot of smaller, very delicate muscle groups that we want to wake up, and they are actually very important for the health of the body. So just back and forth a few times. And then come back to the middle so that the hip bones and the pubic bone are the same height. Again, place your hands there so the fingers are pubic bone. And let's take the right hip towards the floor. So the left hip comes up and then the left hip. So it's like a seesaw back and forth. Now, this is where it gets tricky for many people because they start to go up and down. They basically are wiggling up and down this way instead of side to side because we're not even in the right and left side of the body. So just go back and forth a few times. And then see if you can start to go back and forth like this, side to side, without the knees doing all sorts of funny stuff. So you're really isolating the pelvis in relation to the hips. The hips should just be floating in the sockets if you really have loosened up the area. Then come back to the middle, lengthen out your back again if it got short, and we'll start the pelvic clock. So we're going to take the pubic bone down, roll towards the right hip, roll up towards the navel, roll over to the left, roll all the way down. So now do this a few more times. Just do it in your own speed. Notice if some parts of the roll are more challenging for you than others, because that's kind of where your nervous system is a bit rusty. So just be aware of it and see if you can integrate more. If this is happening nice and easy for you, can you do it without the knees moving at all? And eventually less and less movement. So you're literally just rocking around your own sacrum. Very, very important for the subtle changes of what the pelvis has to go through, the skeleton, as we go through the rolling motions. And now see if you can reverse the movement. So pubic bone goes down, roll to the left, roll up towards the navel, roll all the way to the right, and then all the way down. And then just keep going with this circular movement, circling it around in your own speed, looking to get in touch and loosen up, especially check that you're not tightening your glutes. Very easy to really get kind of grippy and muscly, and you actually want to be loosening everything up so it gets more relaxed and more flow. We want our bones to float. Really, really key aspect for a healthy skeleton, and we need to keep loosening the skeleton up for the rest of our life because it does get hardened up and tight. Just the pattern of gravity in life that affects us. So loosening ourselves up means so much for our health. Then let's take our legs out, and immediately my lower back tends to get tight these days. So my lower back is off the floor. So you want to lengthen your navel down. Can you get a sense? Pubic bone and hip bones, are they the same? The legs are relaxed, and we're going to do the same thing. Pubic bone goes down, pubic bone comes up. So the range of movement, just rock back and forth, is going to be probably less unless you're really, really loose in the hips and the lower pelvis and lower back area. But you want to be aware and see if you can do it again without gripping your hip flexors. Can you do it almost by making your bones float? So you're not gripping here, you're not gripping your buttock muscles. Something much deeper and more subtle is making this movement happen. Then come back to the middle and go side to side. So again, right and left, and see if you can keep it from going up and down, meaning this way, but that way, like a seesaw. And can you feel the relationship to your own sacrum? Come back to the middle. Now start your circle. So pubic bone goes down, roll towards the right, roll up towards the navel, to the left, and down. And keep doing the circles. And really, more likely, you're circling around your own sacrum, which is what you want to be very aware of, because the sacrum gets so tight. That's what we're looking to be aware of as our foundation when we do rolls. And then reverse the movement the other way, circling around. Really articulating the spine all the way around. Very good. Now, from this position, pull the pubic bone up a little bit. So when the pubic bone goes up, get a sense of lengthening the hip flexors, that area that gets so tight, and just lift your head and chest up. So notice now all these front muscles are tightened. Come back down again. Now lift your arms up. Tilt the pelvis very slightly and pull the shoulders forward. So now we're starting to stretch the trapezius and the lats and lengthen your neck, and then come up and lengthen down and stretch your shoulders forward. So we're actually lengthening the back and scooping in the stomach, but we're staying very nice and long. Lower back down. And again, slight movement of the pubic bone upwards, and then lift and stretch. Lengthen everything away. Now lengthen your heels away from you and just feel this position, because we're going to be doing 100s in a minute here. And lower back down. If you want to bring your legs together, you can do that as well. I'm lengthening my back because it's starting to loosen up on me. So if your back is off the ground, see if you can get more of it, your spine that is more towards the ground, but check that you're not tucking before you're ready to tuck. You want this plane very even. Now here we go again. Arms up, slight lengthening, tightening of these muscles upward. Shoulders come forward, shoulders go down, flex your heel and lift up. And let's start our 100s in this position. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, exhale, 3, 4, 5. Lift a little bit more up. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Lift one leg right up. Exhale, 3. Lower down. Lift the other leg. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. One more time. First leg. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Both legs up. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Lower down. Keep your stomach pulled up. Bend, reach your arms over your head. And see, just first of all, take your natural stretch. Notice your own spine. Each of us is very different. Some of us will arch a lot, some of us won't. But get a sense from your pubic bone to your sternum area, how much length can you create? So now we're lengthening the stomach muscles up, and then lengthen the pubic bone under. And now let's bring our knees up, because we're going to do our first roll up. Not tucked, but long. So lengthen the arms, bring them up, armpits to waist, lift up. So here's the beginning of the roll. Really deep scoop of the belly. Peel yourself nice and slow off the mat. Can you feel all your muscle groups set up nice and tall? And then start going back. So check the lats. Do you feel that you're lengthening into the lats and articulating the spine? Have you got your 3 buttons very long? And can you very slowly and conscientiously drop one bone at a time down? Or are you lowering as a clump and stretch back? So come on up again. So each one of these rolls is intended to loosen up our back. And maybe you just roll down beautifully. Your spinal column is very long and very loose, and maybe you're stiffer. So keep thinking of taking that spinal column and separating it. We want real space. And then can you get a sense of each bone at a time dropping to the mat and lengthening out? Bring the arms up. Lift your head and chest. Peel off the mat and come back up. Very, very good. Now, we will do the same roll with a wall. So let's just take a minute. I'm hoping you can all have a wall. If it's impossible for you to have a wall, then let me see. So I'm taking this covered area because I want to have my feet against something up, so that when I push with my legs, you see what's happening? I'm creating traction. So I want to use this quality so you get even more into how much you can create a hammock shape. So find yourself with a wall if you have one, and then get your feet up so the feet are against in a V position. And I think all of you look like you're getting there. All right. Just waiting. Good. All right. So in this position, just start with your arms behind you and lift the spine. So be aware of where the spine is. Can you lift the 3 buttons in the front so they're long, and the lower back? And now lean back and let's grab here. So here's where the legs will help, but you don't want to be tucked. Can you lift up and have that length? So you're rolling, and as you roll down, whoops, you want to press into the wall to get extra length in the lower back. This is going to keep the pelvis very long. Reach the arms over the head and lengthen the legs into the wall. Bring the arms up. Lift your head and chest. Press into the wall. And if you need to, there's a point where the knees will bend for you to come all the way up. And we'll roll down again. Really push, use that. Press into that lower back to create all of that length. All the way back. Scoop the belly, lift your head and chest, and peel off the wall to come up. I'm moving too far away. And again, we're going to do this a few more times. So just keep rolling down and up. Use the wall to push and lengthen your back as much as you can and loosen it up. And then as you come up, use the wall to get a sense of reaching the legs away from you and stretching your spine and activating your stomach muscles. One more time. Push the tail under, roll down, lengthening everything into the floor, reaching out. Bring the arms up, lift your head and chest, scoop, and come up. Now from here, you're lifted, again, one hand under the knee, and reach up. See how much you can pull out of your waist and get that rotation. Keep lengthening the waist up. So you're pulling your stomach in and lifting up. So we're opening and lengthening the whole waist area. Other side, lift the waist up, pull your belly in and rotate. So you're using the obliques to create length rather than contraction. Very good. And now we're going into single leg circles. So from here, you see, in fact, grab your knees and just rock back and forth a few times on your own sit bones. And now imagine that you've got my hand on your head. So you're not getting smaller, but you're staying the same height. When you can keep the same height and go from flexion to extension, you're starting to have that real powerful ability to have length. And that's what we're looking for. So keep that length and now lower yourselves down to the mat. Whoa, moved away. If you can, you want your feet flat on the walls. The heels are on as well as the toes, because what that'll allow you to do is if you push your heels if you push your heels off the floor, you lengthen your lower back even more. Now, get your lower back as long as you can without tucking. That's what you want to avoid. That's the trickiest part to learn how to do, because we want to lengthen the spine, not just and lengthen the front body at the same time. So they're two very different things. So keep as long as you can. Keep the stomach engaged. Lift your right leg up. Do not change shape. That's the tricky part. Keep all of these qualities intact and circle the leg around one. And you can do as big a circle as you want, but keep the leg against the wall stable and the pelvis against the wall stable. Circle and pause. Reconnect to your long back and that leg pressing away from you at the same time. Circle the other way. Circle. 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 Keep the leg, both legs very active and stretch. Get the knees as long as you can. Pull the leg. Keep the back long. Keep the stomach long. Now flex your foot and lengthen even further. Now here we go. Can you widen your elbows and pull your shoulders away from your ears? So we're stretching our lats. Believe it or not, the more you can open up the lats and widen them, the longer the spine will be. So all these different muscle groups affect and create the shape that makes us uniquely our own. And bring the leg back against the wall. Reconnect, reestablish your foundation. In fact, put pubic bone and hands on your pelvis to feel your base. Are you even, or are you tucked or arched? You want it even. Lift the other leg up, nice and long. And circle the leg around 1. Circle the leg around 2. Keep both legs very long. 3, 4, 5. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lengthen both legs. Keep your spine long and flat. And stretch this leg towards you. Flex your foot, increase the stretch again. Remember those lats. Elbows wide, back long, stomach in, stomach long, and spine long. So the shoulder blades actually are spread. Bring the leg back. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Pull the shoulders away from the floor. And just for a minute, keeping that nice wide position, open your arms sideways. See if you can feel the ignore this hand. See if you can feel the shoulder blades really, really wide. So they're pulling apart, and notice where it's pulling in your own body, because we want everything open, the front body, the back body. Can you keep the shoulder blades that wide and get the tops of the shoulder blades on the mat without your back arching? Can you check the back of the neck? Is it long? And are your shoulders down? Bring the arms up again. Very good. And then bend both knees into the chest. So here we are with the sacrum is down. Now, can you lift your little bottom off and back? Lift your bottom off and back. 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 So I found usually that movement is where people really have a challenge overall. Hands down, and you will do the same thing without hands. So now your low abs have to really work. And yes, you can use your knees a little bit to help get the momentum. Lift and lift and lift. Now, bring yourselves up to a seated position and get your feet back against the wall. So you're in a diamond shape. Your heels are together, knees are apart. Get that tail slightly under, lift the waist and create your hammock. The elbows are wide, the shoulders are down. Your head is long but not collapsed. That's what you don't want. You don't want the collapse, you want it long. Can you lift your feet off the wall and go back and come up, same place? See if you can roll back and roll up. And balance, can you just touch the wall, same place you were at? Lift your waist up again if you lost it. Roll back, roll up. Balance, touch the wall, check your shape. Roll back, roll up. Lift your waist, shoulders down. 2 more times like this. Roll back, roll up. Lift your waist, broaden your shoulder blades. Last one. Roll back, roll up, lift, and put your feet down. Very, very good. Now, legs are long in front of you. And this is a variation of spine stretch forward. It's actually a contortionist exercise, but it's fantastic to really start to open up the whole spinal column. so that you have this articulation, because the roll really is, the goal of the roll is articulating the spinal column and separating the bones up. So clasp your hands behind your head. Lift your back up. Now, when we bend forward, you want to go slowly, but the goal is to get the top of the head on your knees or closer. So think of bringing your nose to your navel. And now the rules are being thrown out the window because you don't have a perfect body. So parts of your lats may get tight or something. Doesn't matter. Bring your head down. Now really bring the chin right to the chest. Just for a moment, check the shoulder blades are wide. And the shoulders are down if you can, so you stretch that part of your body. Roll a little bit further down and really pull the chin to the chest and start curving over. Now, as you curve over, pull your stomach in very deeply and just see how low you can get, pulling your head into your knees to stretch out your back body. And then roll yourselves back up to lift. So this is literally just to stretch out the ligaments and the little tiny muscles between each vertebra. So have a go again. Drop your head. Let the elbows come a little bit forward and curve. As you curve, pull your stomach back. Pull it back so it opens up the lower back. So as you pull your head way down into your knees. And then slowly roll yourself up again and sit up tall. Now flex your feet just to add a little bit more of a dimension. Lift up and again, head down. Start rounding, trying to get as small a little tiny shape as you possibly can. Curve and curve some more and curve some more and curve some more and stretch your stomach back in order to open up the back body. And roll yourselves back up. And last one, round, head in, roll, round everything as tightly as you possibly can. And roll yourselves back up to an upright position. So all this just to open out the back so that the front can work more powerfully. So we'll do this series of 5. Now come back to your wall. Have your feet bent up on it in your Pilates V. Sit up and use the feet to create that slight traction of the sacrum coming under. And now take your time and roll down. Can you now get one bone at a time articulating down? Because we've been rolling out the muscle groups. So everything should be a bit more warm in this position. Now, nice and long. The back maybe is flat. Check your pubic bone and hip bones so that they're not overarched, overtucked if you can, and your spine is long. If you're nice and stable, you can even push into the balls of the feet like you're going into a high heel shoes position to create more length. Bend your right knee in and curl your head and chest up. So here's the lats. Elbows are to the side and the traps mean the shoulders are down. Really scoop the belly and bring the leg in and reach the other leg out. Switch your legs and pull. 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 Switch your legs. Really press your back down. Use the leg against the wall to create the length. And then shoulders away from the ears as you roll all the way down. Now, bring both knees. Whoa, I have to get this crap out. Both knees into your chest. So your sacrum is still down. And I'm moving into the wall a bit because I moved away. Double leg stretches. So here you are. Curl your head and chest up. Get that hammock shape. And can you lift your tail off? Can you really get really tight? Now, can you lift your tail off by contracting your stomach muscles? That's really where you start to refine. So legs long and reach the hands to the mat. And bend in. Push the wall away from you to get more scoop. Bend in and stretch. Bend in one more time and stretch. Bend in. Now we add the arm and stretch and screw and stretch. Use the wall to get that scoop and bend and stretch and in one more time and stretch and in. Drop your head down. Scissors are next. So get your legs against the wall, adjust back if you've moved away. It's like you're pushing the wall, you're using the wall to get that length into your back. Curl your head and chest up, broadening your shoulders, reach one leg up, double pulse, and change legs. Now the leg that's reaching into the wall is as important as the leg that's being stretched towards you. So just back and forth, check that the neck is long and that the shoulder blades are broad and the elbows are out so that you're stretching your lats, you're stretching your traps, and you're contracting your front body. And one more time. And long legs, lower your head and chest down. Clasp your hands, place them behind your head. So when the elbows are wide, bring them up for a minute and broaden the shoulder blades. So you want the shoulder blades as broad as you can, and then open the elbows. And if you're tightening your front body, you may feel a pull. You want that. You just want as much opening in every part of your body as you possibly can. From here, keep the legs helping you anchor and curl up. So you're very long, your head is forward, your elbows are wide. Now, see how long you can keep your legs on the wall. So as you lift them up, they stretch out. And as you reach them out, your back stays on the floor. And lift and length. And reach the legs away and long. And reach and length. And long. And down 2 more times, reach and lift and long and down. Last one, reach and lift and long and down. Lower back down. From here, lengthen your spine again, open your shoulder blades, broaden your back, get that front body lengthening in, keep the legs on the wall, creating more length. Crisscross, curl your head and chest up, bend one knee and rotate towards that side. So you can keep this elbow up as you rotate. Legs go back, bring the other leg, rotate. Back, lift and rotate. I want to drop, lifting up, keeping elbows wide. Extend and twist. Extend and twist, extend and twist. Very good. Lower your head and chest down. Lower your feet to the floor now. So you should probably have gotten some nice stretching done in your spine, which means your stomach and your front body has more capacity to be active. Extend your arms, scoop your belly. Bring the arms to the ceiling, shoulders are down, and roll up to a seating position. See if you can really peel yourself off the floor to come up. And now swivel around so that your back is against the wall. So we're going to do spine stretch forward in a real fun way. Your feet are wider than the mat. And you want your sacrum and your waist against the wall. So if you have a very archy back, you probably feel slumped over, but that's where you want to be for this exercise. So once you have this position, pull up as much as you can. So you pull your belly in, and then you attempt to figure out how can I get as tall as possible. Take your head and press it against the wall. Now make sure your chin is down. So the back of the neck is long. Can you feel your shoulder blades wide? Start to see if you can feel the lats and the traps just being very, very wide. Now, lift up even more, and we'll just start with the fingers. So when the fingers crawl forward, the shoulders move away, and now look down. So curl just enough for the shoulder blades to leave the wall and actively push your back into the wall. Walk your hands a little bit further forward, actively push your back into the wall. Go a little bit further and actively pull your stomach in to press your back to the wall, and then go as far as you can, but don't let the waist leave. So you want the navel and from the waist down into the wall. So it may only be a small amount. Roll back up, stack up your spine, and lift up the back of the neck. And again, stomach comes in and you start rolling forward. Same movement, wiggling forward only till the waist. So the neck, from the waist down, you're pressed into the wall. From the waist up, you're stretching. Notice you're stretching your lats and you're stretching your trapezius muscles if you're letting the shoulders come forward. And for me today, please do that, because I want you to open up your back body so you can go a little bit further if the muscles are starting to let go. Roll back up, sit up nice and tall. Lift up again, and this time, drop your head and just go as far forward as you can. So you slowly peel yourself off the wall, peel yourself off the wall, peel yourself off the wall, and go further. In fact, go as far down as you possibly can, keeping the same qualities happening. As you go further forward, can you feel the connection under the arms? If you can, that's wonderful, because you're keeping your shoulder blades wide, which is what you want. Roll back up, stacking up your spine till you're straight and long. Now, arms straight in front of you. Take a big breath in. Drop your head and start rolling forward. The hands stay parallel to the floor. Same quality, go as low as you can. Notice your head is diving down. The arms stay up. Roll back. And sit up tall. So probably, I'm hoping you really feel yourself stretching your own spine. Take a big breath in. Pull the shoulder blades forward so you make space between them and widen your ribs in the back. You're really opening up the back ribs, but you're lifting the stomach up. Keep going forward, arms are up. And roll back up, press into the wall, lift the back of the neck, arms nice and long, and relax. Very good. Now coming forward into open-legged rocker. So here we are, same position, nice and tall, and very slightly scooped back. So just as though you were pushing against the wall, same position. Can you find your balance? Because what happens in here is the body wants to do that. That's the struggle of this one. So from here, let's just practice balancing. One leg, and down, one leg, and down, one leg, and down, one leg, and down. One more set. Can you keep that scoop? And one leg, and down. Now both legs at the same time. Hold, keep the scoop, and back. So we're really just on underneath the tailbone is tucked under, that space between the tailbone and the side of the sacrum. Really working. I'm going to bang my head if I don't move forward. So now we'll go for the rock. So find your V, get the scoop, get the elbows out, get the shoulders down. So see if you can find your lats, your traps, and your stomach. All of that stay steady, and 5 times back and forth. Here we go. Rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up. Hold, keep the scoop, put your feet down. and sit up tall. So sometimes the back gets tight. We're going to do the same thing, but the hands come inside. So now we hold the ankles. If your hamstrings are really stiff, just stay with the position we were in. Find your balance. Find the back lats and traps. Find the front stomach, extend. See if you can keep that position without collapsing, and 5 times. Here we go. Rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up, rock back, rock up. And the fun part, the legs come together. Just give yourself a nice stretch, any old which way. Forget everything right now. Just stretch a bit and see if you can walk down. Now, when you walk down to the floor, can you get the spine to articulate the way we did? And get your hands flat on the floor here. Now, let's run through this pelvic circle, the pelvic clock again, because we're going to use that when we do the legs. But the legs don't move right now. So push your pubic bone down, roll to the right hip, up to the waist, over to the left, and down. And do that again. Just circle it around. Get in touch with all those little muscles. One more time. Circle and down. Now reverse it other way. Circle and down. Circle. I'm hoping you feel a lot more now. One more time, because all of the subtle muscles are waking up. So when we do our corkscrew now, I want you to use those muscles, not the feet, because people do corkscrew like this. They swing the legs around. I want you to activate here. So let's start. We'll take the legs out a bit. Roll to the right. Roll up. Roll to the left. Roll down. Again. So we're doing the same way 3 times. Making those be the muscles at work. Now reverse it, other way. Make those muscles right around the pelvis and the sacrum be the force of the movement instead of the feet. Yes, right. Now, reconnect that spine on the floor and those deep abdominal muscles, and see if you can lower your legs all the way to the mat without letting your back come up. Reach the legs away from you, away from you, away from you, away from you. So if you're working all of this properly, you start to make all this subtle space in the hip flexors and tailbone and sacrum. Reach the arms up, spread your shoulder blades in the back. See if you can feel your lats. Feel your traps, so the neck is long. Now, take your arms over your head. If your ribs go up, that means your lats are really, really tight. So you want to feel, can you stretch the side ribs? Can you feel from the low ribs to the armpit length, and then length into the arm muscles without the shoulders flying up by your ears, with the stomach long. Flex your feet. Bring the arms up. Peel off the mat. And sit up tall. So now we have all of our obliques for soft. So bringing the arms forward. Remember spine stretch forward where we worked like that with the stomach going back. We're going to do the same thing to one side. So the hands come forward. Let's bring the hands down. So there's a rotation. Find this height in your waist and start to creepy crawl forward. Notice that both shoulders stay even to the floor. My sweater is perfect to demonstrate this. That's wrong. That's wrong. Straight. Curving over. And now notice, think of it. I'm bent over my right leg. The left hip has to stay grounded. Really feel the shape. Notice that one side of the ribs are stretching a lot more than the other. Roll yourselves back up. Switch to the other side, lift the waist up, square your shoulders, pull back in the waist as you're going forward. So you're stretching forward, both hands even, you're stretching out, the other side of the rib cage. So you're stretching out one side of the lats and the trapezius muscles, and then you're stretching the other one. And you're working the obliques to keep you in this position. Roll back up. First side. Hand to here, this hand behind you. So I'm taking my thumb and facing it down. Now, same laws, but you pull the shoulders apart. So it's a lot more of a stretch in the trapezius muscle if you're doing this the right way. And so 3 times you saw your little toe off and come back up. Other side, hand to the outside, thumb is down, shoulders pull, and start sliding this hand out, shoulders even to the floor. Reach as far forward and as far back as you can with the stomach scoop, and saw 3 times and come back up. First side again, slide down, reaching 1, 2, 3, and up. Other side, slide 1, 2, 3, and up. First side, slide 1, 2, 3, and up. Other side, slide 1, 2, 3, and up. Very, very good. Going now into the opposite of rolls, which is, actually that's interesting because we have rolling on our stomach in the intermediate advanced work. So lying on your back, roll onto your stomach. So make a diamond shape. Let's have a fist. The elbows are more or less in line with your chin. And lift up. So it's not a high lift, but can you broaden your shoulder blade? So again, we're spreading the lats and then pull the shoulders down so the neck stays nice and long, and feel that you're pulling your rib cage away from your pubic bone. So nice long position. Bend your right foot and kick twice. Kick, kick, and down. Other leg, kick, kick, and down. First leg, kick, kick, and down. Kick, kick, and down. Kick, kick, and down. Kick, kick, and down. So I'm hoping your sacrum is grounded. That little triangle, pubic bone and hip bones is pressing in. Lift your chest a little bit more. Now, bend your right foot. Reach back with your right hand and hold the foot if you can. If you can't, you'll just bend it. The big thing is keep your sacrum grounded so the pubic bone and hip bone are down, but not tucked. So I'm trusting you to really refine your awareness there. Lift your chest. Can you lift this leg off the floor? So you keep that foundational triangle going. Now the foot that's in the air, pull your shoulder away. So you use it to open up, lift the leg as far as it's ready to go, and then come down. Find your base again, recommit to that little triangle, pubic bone and hip bone. Lift up the front, bend the other leg. Grab your foot if you can. First of all, just stretch out the quad. Can you do it without your triangle getting short? Then can you lift and use the pull of the foot to pull the shoulder away? You're opening up the chest a little bit. And then come back. Now bend both feet. Get that sacrum down, get that tailbone down. Reach back. Grab both feet, pull them in. Don't let your back, this is what happens, the bottom comes up because we're short in the hip flexors, we're short here. So we really need to, more important than getting the feet in, I don't care if you don't get to your feet, press this down till you start to open up the hip flexors. Then, keeping that down, if you can grab your feet, lift your head and chest up and your thighs off the mat. So you get this nice opening in the front of the body. Just for fun, keep that triangle grounded. Stretch the arms over and reach. and come down. Now head to one side, hands behind your back, double leg kick. So here we go again. Stretch the elbows to the floor and broaden your shoulder blades, stretching the lats out and also stretching the front of the muscles in the shoulders out. For a lot of people, this is very tight. They're way up here because the shoulder joint is tight. Ground your pelvis. Kick, bend both feet, but don't let yourself arch. Keep this down. Kick, 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 and lift your chest up. Open the shoulder blades. Other side. Kick, 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 and lift. First side. Kick, 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 and lift. Other side. Kick, 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 and lift. First side. Kick, 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 and lift. And last one. Kick, 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 and lift. Now from here, push back into your heels. As you go back into your child's pose, get your knees together, round the lower back, and go back looking to have as much of a scoop as you can there, and then stretch your arms out. So you're dropping your head down, opening up the lower back, and dropping your head to the floor. Nice long stretch. Come back up, and this next one is actually not a Pilates one, it's a yoga. It's called rabbit pose. Same thing like spine stretch forward, it stretches that whole spine and arcs it. So if you don't know, just please watch me for a minute. I'm holding my heels, I'm dropping my head down, so the top of my head is on the mat, and then you want to get your knees as close to the forehead as you can, and rock your bottom up as high as you can. So let's do this together if you're not already in position. So grab the heels. I'm going to have a look at all of you as you're doing this. Bring your head to the floor. So the top of the head, the crown of the head's on the floor, and lift your bottom up in the air. Don't let go of your heels as you do this. Now get your forehead as close to your knees as you can and push your bottom as high as you can. You're rocking yourself over your head. And pull on the heels very aggressively as you do this. And then pull the shoulders away from the floor so you stretch between the shoulder blades. You stretch down the ribs. If you really, really pull your stomach in very strongly, you can get into that lower back and you can even get into the sacrum. Just hold this position, pull the stomach in even more deeply, right down close to the pubic bone. Spread your shoulder blades a little bit more. Press your rib cage in between the shoulder blades as much as you can. Lift your bottom a little bit higher and then come back up to an upright position. So sit down and bring yourself up to an upright position. So fabulous. All these rounding stretches, fabulous for the back, fabulous for our posture. So now let's come up to a kneeling position. And you want your feet, your thighs hip width apart for thigh stretch. So now we do the opposite. We'll bring, again, this pubic bone slightly up, but it's not a tuck. We want the pubic bone and the hip bones in the same plane. So it depends on your physiology, how that works for you. You want that real long position and your arms are straight out in front of you. So to begin with, we'll do chest expansion. So you're going to pull the arms down without losing this shape. Pull the shoulders back. So the whole front of the stomach is lifting. Pull the shoulders way back and push the hands a little bit towards each other, but pull the shoulders down. So lots of things happening at the same time. Get your head on top of your chest. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the left. Look straight. Bring the arms forward. Lift your waist a little bit more. Push down, broaden the chest. Way back, hands close together, shoulders down. Head to the left, head to the right. Look straight. Release the arms. Recommit to a long back. And again, press and open that chest. Collarbones are opening. Head to one side. Head to the other. Look straight. Release the arms. Push down and broaden everything. Head to the left. Head to the right. Look straight. Release the arms. Very good. Now keep the arms in front. Keep the hips up and hinge back to get your thighs stretched. So now we have to really work around the sacrum to keep ourselves from falling. Lift the stomach and the waist, hinge again. Lengthen those thighs out. And back. Very different from when you're doing it on the Cadillac with something to hold on to. Now it's all your own body, bringing all of this control in. And back. Very good. Bring your hands down for our planks. So now we find that long spine. So this is the tricky part. Arch spine, curved spine. Where is the middle for you? Where is that long waist so you're not shrunk, but you're long? So the stomach is long, the lower back is long, and I want broad shoulder blades, but not around rib cage. So can you get a sense of a very long back? One leg goes back. Keep the position, the other leg goes back. Hold, hold, hold. First leg comes forward, other leg comes forward. Reverse it. Other leg back, back, hold, hold. Push away from the floor, in and in. First side again, stretch and hold. 2, 3, in, and other side, back, and back, hold, 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 and in, and in. Sit back into your heels just to stretch out for a minute. Roll up to an upright position. So coming into teaser. So we are working our rolls today and refining all the variations to do with them. So starting with yourself in a straight position, lift one knee up. Now remember here we're on top of the sit bones. Now we're just back, nice long body. Lengthen the arms. Can you roll to the mat? Not collapsing, but rolling through the spine. Hands go down. Lift your arms, peel off the mat, and come up. And again, rolling down. Now that we've been working on this all class, can you just start to focus on all these different fine details and find them for yourself? One more time, rolling down and rolling up. Change sides. Bring the other leg up. Extend your arms, roll down. Roll up. Roll down. Roll up. One more time, roll down. And roll up. Very good. Now, both legs. So we're starting up instead of down today. Find your V shape. Find your balance. Roll down. Roll down. Roll up. Roll down. Roll up. One more time. Roll down. And roll up. Bring your legs down. Now, an exercise we have not, I don't think I've done these in the online version, boomerang. Just play along if you've never done this before, but it's a combination of different exercises. You want one leg crossed over the other. So the most challenging part is the beginning. So here you have this scoop. Your fingers are in front. Remember the broad shoulder blades. Can you lift your legs up? Let's just do this 3 times. So lift. And again, lift. Notice which muscle groups are working. And lift. So from here, I'm going to demonstrate once. If you don't know what it is, it's a lot of stuff going on, but we're just going to play around. Just copy like a cat, like a kid, I meant. So have a look if you don't know what a boomerang is. I'm lifting I'm keeping the shape to roll back. I'm opening and closing my legs to cross the other way, and I roll up to my teaser. Then the hands come behind, I clasp, I stretch and float, give myself a little stretch, bring my arms around and pull down. And come up and start again. So just play along with this if you haven't done this before. So lift the legs, roll back, open and close so the other legs are in front, roll up, scoop, stretch the arms, bend over and stretch. Come back up. And again, roll back, open and close, roll yourselves up, hands behind, stretch, and over. And again, roll back, open and close, roll up and stretch, clasp, over, and stretch. And last one, roll back, open and close, roll up, clasp, and over and stretch. And over. All right, I hope you survived that. You all look like you were doing it good. The next one is called crab. Again, it's one of the ones that hardly ever get done anymore. I love it. I wish it was done more often. I know what the controversy is. It's about taking your weight on your head. It's an incredible opportunity to stretch the back of the neck. So what happens in our culture, most of us live here, which means actually the back of the neck has become very tight. And they don't know how to, you take your head forward. You never figure out how to stretch the back, but it's so important to get this part of the body long. So in case you have never done it before, I'm going through it slow. So I'm holding on to my big toes in this funny little cross-legged position, hiking my bottom up and putting the top of my head on the floor. And then it's very much like a rabbit pose. I rock forward and stretch my neck and between my shoulder blades with a nice scoop. Then you sit back. I'm going straight. Roll back, and I open and close. Let me get into the camera. So I roll back, open and close. I grab the other side, and then roll up again. So you have to do that with a little bit of an oomph. So again, let's just play along today because this is an amazing, at the end of the class, if you're open, you're flexible, everything's moving. Incredible way to get any final tension out of the body. So grab your big toes, see if you can come forward on your head and rock forward. Give yourself a nice stretch here. Roll back, open and close, and roll up again. And then take that weight on the head. Roll back, go all the way onto your shoulders, top of the shoulder blades, so that you break up any final tension in there. And stretch. And again, roll back, open and close, roll up, and stretch. And again, roll back, open and close, roll up, and stretch. And come back down to a seated position. And let's just do a little mermaid because we've done so much stretching into the front and the back of the body. Let's stretch the sides of the body out. So sitting, most advanced is like this. Heels, one on top of the other side, literally on the side of my hip. More basic is like this or like this. So sit in the shape that you can actually get this hand off the floor and you have a good grip. Lift this arm up and lift up. So now the waist is pulling in again. For now, I don't care about the shoulder. Get it as high as you can. Let it come crunch right up because we want to open up that connection into the lats, right in here, that side of the armpit. So important. Open up the side ribs. We're all tight in the side rib. Big lift and bend over as far as we can. This hand pulls. Stretch out that side of the body. Stretch the other way. This is nice and easy. Just enjoy it. And again, lift up. Stretch again. Now wrap the hand around your ear, around the head, so you get a little deeper. Use this hand to get even more traction. Get that arm over because it's going to loosen any final points up. Lift up and wrap. You can come on your elbow. And one more time, lift up. Now you wrap first because you get even more of a grip. Stay that tight as you go to the side. Bring the elbow down towards the knee. Open back up, stretch, reach, and come back up and lean out to the side. Just for fun. This is not a beginner intermediate. You take the legs to the side, swing them around, and bend them in. Just for fun. If you can't do it another way, grab, lift up and stretch to the side. Let that shoulder come up. Open up that armpit, all that tight tissue in there. And then stretch the other way. And again, come up and over and wrap the hand around your head to get a deeper stretch. Reach the arm and stretch this way. And one more time, lift up. This time, wrap your head first. Really pull up and now bend to the side. Take the elbow down towards your knee. Whoa, I'm tight on this side. Stretch up, reach, and wrap, and curve, and stretch. And here we go to that side. Swing them around, and let's do a fast seal. Reach the hands in. We're going to clap on the back as well as the front. So lift up, clap 3 times. Clap, 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 roll back and clap. Clap, 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 roll up and clap. Clap, 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 roll back. Clap, 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 roll up. Clap, 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 and last one, back. And clap, 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 and come up to sitting. All right, everybody, your spine should feel amazing. You should feel good. This was hard work. It was very detailed work. Very well done.